We have a potential heat wave forming in the South Island, while the North Island is looking much drier than average. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our weekend weather update and also the outlook for the final week of November. So let's kick off with the animated wind map for Friday, and you can see the big high out in the Tasman, and that is what is about to control our weather for the next week or so. It's encouraging this warmer nor'wester. That's the reason why parts of the South Island are going to be 10 degrees above average for the next 4 or 5 days, and the North Island off and on. You've got pretty much warm weather coming through, but there just might be a couple of days in the north where perhaps some of the coastal breezes are a little stronger and cooler. But generally speaking, the inland areas of both islands are looking much warmer than average for the next 4 or 5 days ahead. So this is Saturday. You can see the high. We've added the fires that are burning across Australia. And by the way, that's the zoomed out version of it. When you zoom in, there's even more. So there may well be some smoke that gets caught up in that coming towards New Zealand. It does go pretty high up in the atmosphere by the time it reaches us, but it can make for hazier weather and also more fiery sunsets and sunrises. So good if you get the cameras out. The wind's a little bit breezy in some areas, mostly dry. There might be an afternoon isolated shower in the central North Island and a little bit of rain around the west coast, mostly down around Fiordland and southwestland. And on Sunday, those showers move up into sort of Greymouth and Westport areas, maybe a couple inland. There'll be a couple of isolated showers, very hard to see with these messy isobars, but there will be a couple of showers bubbling up around Otago in the ranges and maybe Southland too, and also maybe around the Central Plateau and the North Island's eastern ranges on Sunday. Dry around Auckland, great news for the Auckland Santa Parade. We're really proud that Weather Watch is now their official forecaster, and you can actually read the press release about that on our homepage. And then we've got this low up to the north, but the high is going to stop it from getting any closer to us. So that's the weekend. Now, as we get into next week, some more of those afternoon downpours could bubble up. So while most places in the North Island have a dry 7 days ahead, you can see there could be a couple of showers there and maybe 1 or 2 isolated downpours popping up around the ranges. They might also have isolated thunder as well. Now into Tuesday, high pressure stays in the same place. In fact, this looks remarkably similar to the current weather map for Friday. You've got the nor'westers back out of Australia, a bit of rain back down around southwestland and Fiordland, dry everywhere else, and those winds are picking up, which will lift temperatures up even further. Now by next Wednesday, this is the next sort of surge of unsettled weather. We've got a burst of rain moving up the west coast with some heavy falls and strong to gale force west to northwest winds ahead of it all. Now the North Island's mostly dry, but the winds will pick up, but they'll be subtropical or nor'westers. So either way, it's going to be pretty warm for you next Wednesday along the eastern side of the North Island. But that west coast front right there falls apart as it runs into high pressure. Our final map for Thursday shows the high, and that's the leftovers of that front sort of attached to that part there, or detached, I should say. So there might be a little bit of cloud around on the western side. The sou'westers are a bit breezy. There might even be a couple of little light showers that aren't being captured on this map, but possible when that front falls apart. So there you go. That's the forecast pretty much for most of next week. It is looking fairly dry in most areas. Before I go, there's more information on our homepage and in the news section of our app, all about where the potential heat wave might form, who gets it, who misses out. 10 maps there for you to look at. And if you go further down, there's that story about us now being the official sponsor for the Auckland Santa Parade. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to go to the parade on Sunday in Auckland, and we'll see you again on Monday.